I'm Sean Dowling, and this is the Mid-Season Review, proudly presented by Taylor's Development Strategists. Welcome to this very special podcast where we look to review the season so far and fill the cricket void during the break. And help me look at all things Bulls, it's a very big welcome to Nick Hooper. Welcome, Hoops.
Shawnee, thank you. Great to be here and looking forward to this podcast.
And we've got a bit to go through in the podcast. What are we going to cover today?
Well, we're going to cover both the seniors and the juniors, have a look at how they've been going, and the good news is that just about every team is in the hunt for finals.
And that's exactly where you want to be come Christmas break, because it really gives you something to play for after the new year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a good start to the year for most teams. I think we're pretty well placed.
Bit of news around the club. We've got a terrific new sponsor on board.
Yeah, Dentures Meats have been providing a meat tray every week for the raffle of a Saturday night. Been very well received by the club and very much sought after. And I know that those who've won have really enjoyed the meat from Dentures.
We even did a meat run come Christmas time, which was pretty successful.
Yeah, I popped over to Forest Hill where Dentures are based and picked up our hams, and the family couldn't have been happier. First-class meat.
Yep, had a fantastic pork myself, and even went the butterfly lamb, which was a real hit on Boxing Day. So, Dench Meats, a terrific new sponsor, and thanks to some great work by Adrian Waters.
Yeah, shop's there, and I think he credits his daughter with creating the relationship with Dentures. So the whole Bulls family helping out.
All right, well, we might get straight into taking a look at how the ones are going so far, and under new captaincy of Mick Paolini, we'll come into the break at 3 and 5, and probably not a true reflection on where the team's probably at.
No, look, a slow start to the season. A lot of changes this year. A lot of the older guys stepping back and pushing into the twos, allowing us to get a lot of younger guys in. Once they got their confidence after the first couple of games, they were really going well. And save for a couple of drop games, they could well have been 5 and 3 rather than 3 and 5. So they're doing pretty well.
With a younger group, you're going to get a little bit of inconsistency.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they've just some of the younger guys have got to realise they are actually capable of playing at that grade, and I think that they're slowly realising that. So, augurs well for the rest of the season.
Fantastic. And who's been making runs there in the ones?
Well, look, it's mainly been Dos, Chris Marsiglio, and Perko, former captain. They've both scored over 300 runs, a century each. First one for Dos for the club. Well done, Dos. 300 runs before Christmas is a fantastic effort.
It really is. It's going to set themselves up for a bit of a milestone. 500 in a season is a terrific effort, and you've got a couple of boys there that are really on target for that.
Yeah, and look, Mick Paolini, the new skipper, made a few runs, just short of 200 runs so far, and also Matt Kostorfin, especially that 53 where he smashed them everywhere. He's been great support to the batting lineup. And
been all over Twitter like a mad rash. So, well done, boys. That's the batting. What about the bowling?
Well, look, a couple of blokes who played in the seconds with me last year a fair bit have really stepped up this year. Andy Rogers, 14 wickets at just under 14. Dan Tome has taken 9 wickets, and as well as Storff, he's also got 14. They've been the backbone of the bowling lineup, especially in recent weeks. It's
great to see that these guys are getting an opportunity now to play ones cricket.
Yeah, and again, they're showing that they're right up to it. Rog and Tome put on 50 for the last wicket in the previous game, so they're pretty handy with the bat as well, those two.
Absolutely, and probably been a little bit unfortunate in that a couple of the young boys have been unavailable due to VCE.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think we've got something like 7 or 8 guys across the club who've done VCE this year, and well done, guys, on some pretty good results from what I can gather. But that's affected the consistency in the ones, and now that those guys have got that under their belt, they'll be able to finish off the season.
How the twos been going? I suppose, from my point of view, the twos are probably the absolute opposite of the ones in that it's all the old timers playing twos now.
Look, it is. The amount of athleticism in the field in the twos is pretty ordinary. There's a few of us that lots of better days, and we do our best work standing in the slips. But you're right. I mean, former ones players, Darren Reid, who's captaining, Nifty Neville, who's having a ball playing in the twos. Earpy's played quite a few games as well. Wall is in there as well. So hell of a lot of talent. And then when you back that up with some other experienced cricketers, it's no wonder that we're 7-1.
Yeah, doing very well placed. So it'd be fantastic to get down and have a look at the twos and see those 9 old timers standing in slips.
Yes, that's right. And when one gets past us, we'll look at each other and wonder who's going to go chasing it.
Your turn.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Okay, who's been making runs in the twos?
Look, the amazing thing is there's been no centuries, but Earpy, Nifty and Dash have all made about 250 runs or more. Poor old Earpy and Dash got LBW for mid-90s in the last game, and neither of them were overly pleased with the decision.
Shotgun.
Yes, a little bit of that. Wall and I've struggled a little bit, haven't made too many runs, but between Earpy, Nifty and Dash, they've been certainly the backbone of the batting effort.
Yeah, fantastic effort, guys, and looking forward to that continuing after the break. And what about the bowling side of things?
Look, the bowling, again, has been incredible depth in the bowling. Nifty's leading the way with 16 wickets. Shane Daramitalaka, one of the connection boys, missed the last couple of games heading back to Sri Lanka on holidays. He's taken 15 wickets, including a 7 for 74, as I get my numbers right, in the first round. Shawnee Bandara, Mr. Reliable, has been bowling beautifully. And then when you throw in Rosh, and one of our young finds, Harry Berry, in the last few games, he's really stepped up, and his bowling and his batting to a lesser degree have been first class. And he's a guy we can look forward to playing ones in future seasons.
Absolutely, yeah. Quite a talented boy. Played a few years in the junior ranks with us, and we managed to snare him from Blackburn. So a good get for the club.
Absolutely, and all I can say is thank God we've got him in the field to make us old buggers look good.
Well, that's the seconds. What about the thirds? The thirds, Matty Harmon again captaining the side, and it has been a stepping stone for our younger boys, though not the case this year with so many of them doing their VCE, and probably struggled a bit. I think he's had 30-odd players through that thirds team.
Yeah, look, it's always a problem with the thirds and the fourths is consistency of players on the ground, but he's had a reasonably solid core. Umre, Andy Cullinan, and Maddie have played just about every game, along with Lockie Walker, who knocked up a ton a little earlier on in the year, in between making a few ducks as well.
Feast and famine.
Yes, it was for poor old Lockie, but look, they're doing pretty well as well. They're sitting third on the ladder. It's very tight. Top two teams on 36 points, two teams on 33, of which we're one. They're doing a real good job, and no reason to say why they shouldn't be right in the finals action. Yeah,
have made the finals in the last 2 years under Matty, and we're hopeful that we'll get a third year and maybe even win that elusive semi-final.
Yeah, absolutely. They've also missed, Stitches Quirk, who's knocked up an unbeaten 100 earlier on in the year. He's back after Christmas, though I believe Cooker is fighting for his services a little bit lower. Lockie Walker's 100 I mentioned, and Earpy, who's been playing up and down a little bit. He also knocked up 100 earlier on in the year in the threes, making runs all over the place, Earpy.
Absolutely. Won't win an average anywhere, but probably make the most runs in the club, just about.
Well, look, and I'm sure he'll be telling everyone on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, absolutely. That's groundbreaking news. Seems like hell must have frozen over, because Earpy is now on Facebook and Twitter, and looking to take the world by storm, I believe.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I'm just waiting for an update of his tats to appear on Facebook.
Fantastic. Okay, so bowling side of things in the threes?
All right, yes. Oh, look, the bowling in the threes. absolutely sensational. If you've got a four-letter surname and the letters have got a B, two R's and an A, you're going beautifully, because Barley Bra with 9 wickets and Alex Barr with 15 have just been ripping them up, bowling beautifully, the boys.
Yeah, we got Barley back this year. He played 2 years ago, didn't play last year, but he's just got that extra bit of pace about him, and it's really noticeable when you get a guy like him swings the ball a lot.
Absolutely. Really consistent bowling. Alex, 5 for 9 in one game. He's taken 2 5-fers. Alex got promoted to the twos and handled himself well there. Richie Silva, 10 wickets, 5 for 39 in, I think it might have been the last game, really bowling well. And when you've got support from Naveen Daramitalaka, Amara Shakti, how am I going with my pronunciations?
You're doing well,
pretty good,
you're doing well.
And sensational. Both of them have got 6 wickets, great support, and, really good solid bowling line up there in the threes.
Yeah, and really looking forward to the VCE boys getting back in that side after the break, and the likes of Lamardo and Ed James and the Allen brothers.
Yeah, and Beanie as well. He'd be right up there. It's going to be a very strong bowling lineup, and I tell you, putting a good deal of upward pressure on the ones and twos to perform and keep their spots.
And that's exactly what we need around the club.
No, look, all going well there. I think they really need to get a couple of wins in the one days, straight after Christmas, and if they can do that, they're pretty much guaranteed finals, I think.
Terrific. And that's the thirds, and now we move on to the